Could it be that our universe was born from nothing, or was there something that existed before it that is yet unknown? The Big Bang Theory, about how the universe started, is still a subject of debate among so many scientists. Everything before the Big Bang seems unfathomable, but that hasn't stopped our scientists from trying to unravel it. Peter Webster, the 82-year-old Australian football legend, said something interesting about this in a recent interview. He said, "Nothing comes from nothing. For something to exist, there must be materials or a component available, and for them to be available, there must be something else available. So where did the stuff that caused the Big Bang come from? And what transpired to create that in the first place?" That was thought-provoking. This quest had led to several missions and inventions, one of which was the invention of the James Webb Space Telescope. Should we go by the Big Bang Theory? It states, "In the beginning, there was once an unfathomably dense, small ball of substance. The small ball was far smaller, denser, and hotter than what we know it to be today. Then everything went boom. That was the bang, resulting in the atoms, molecules, stars, and galaxies that we see today." According to this theory, our entire universe, all the stars, galaxies, and everything, was once the size of a peach and had a temperature of almost a quadrillion degrees. Surprisingly, this fantastic story is consistent with all current observations of our cosmos. Astronomers have studied everything from remnant electromagnetic radiation from the early universe to the quantity of the lightest atoms and discovered that it all fits with what the Big Bang predicts. As far as we can tell, this is a true representation of our early cosmos. Or at least, that's what physicists have been telling us for decades. And before physicists will decide to toss out the Big Bang in favor of any new theory or predictions, they will need to withstand a barrage of empirical tests. But as good as it is, we know that the Big Bang narrative is incomplete. There is a missing puzzle piece, and that piece is the first moment of the Big Bang itself, which is where the James Webb Space Telescope comes in. JWST was designed not to see the beginnings of the universe prior to the Big Bang, but to see a period of the universe's history that we are yet to know, notably the first objects that formed as a universe cooled down after the Big Bang. Amazingly, the recently launched telescope has exceeded the expectation of scientists with the discovery of the earliest galaxies ever formed. The $10 billion observatory that commenced operations in July was designed to see the faint infrared glow of the universe's early stars, as far back as the first few hundred million years after the Big Bang. This will enable it to collect more information and accurate data on newly formed galaxies than any other observatory currently in operation. However, its collections of cosmic photographs have proven to be more vast and mysterious than most researchers could have imagined. Simply put, the first set of galaxies in the early universe are appearing in numbers that defy expectations, with hundreds discovered thus far. Just a week after the JWST's first images were shown to the world, a scientist by the name Rohan Naidu discovered something strange while observing those pictures in his home. After further evaluations by several other scientists, it was discovered that the telescope had captured a galaxy that was formed about 13.5 billion years ago. The galaxy, known as Glass Z13, dates back to 300 million years after the Big Bang, which is around 100 million years older than any previously identified element. During further observation, the team detected more surprising properties. For instance, the galaxy has the mass of 1 billion suns, which is really quite surprising. And that is something scientists don't really understand, given how soon after the Big Bang it was formed. But astronomers are confident of the Webb telescope and are looking forward to a new era of discovery. Shortly after, the telescope spotted 3 more distant galaxies, according to a new unpublished paper on the pre-publication website Archive, presented on December 12th at the Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore. The telescope has spotted and confirmed the 4 oldest galaxies ever seen, galaxies that date back to an average of 400 million years, some even earlier, after the Big Bang. Remember, the more distant an object is from us, the longer it takes for its light to reach us. So when we see objects from across the universe, we're looking far back into time past. And for the galaxy's light to be so bright, they must have been born only 100 million years or so after the Big Bang's afterglow faded, during a dark age when the cosmos was primarily filled with clouds of hydrogen gas, explained a researcher. These discoveries were far beyond what the scientists expected of the James Webb Telescope. Certainly, it will revolutionize our understanding of the Big Bang and galaxy formation. The Webb has indeed accomplished one of its most important missions. Before Webb, the farthest galaxies previously known in our universe were GNZ11 and HD1. According to researchers, they were formed when the universe was about 400 million years old. HD1 was discovered in April 2022 and held the record for only a few months before the discovery of Glass Z13. Scientists who observed the ancient galaxy also found another one nearby, Glass Z11. It was almost as old as the Glass Z13. Both galaxies are relatively small in comparison to the galaxies we see today, such as our home galaxy, the Milky Way. The Milky Way is about 100,000 light-years in diameter. Glass Z13 is around 1,600 light-years in diameter, while Glass Z11 is 2,300 light-years in diameter. Each has a mass of about 1 billion suns compared to our Milky Way galaxy, which has about 100 to 400 billion stars. Scientists spotted Glass Z11 while investigating Glass Z13. The two galaxies are in the same direction in space. Scientists do not believe this is just a mere coincidence. Definitely, there is more to be discovered. You might want to ask, what if the universe has no beginning or end? Fun fact: the best response you could get from any physicist will be, the universe has always been there. It's only changing and expanding. It grows but never shrinks. That is what makes it infinite. Although the James Webb Space Telescope has only been conducting science operations for a few months, it has already made some iconic discoveries. From distant planets to the earliest galaxies, NASA's newest telescope keeps unveiling more mysteries about the universe. Its performance is beyond expectation. Unlike Hubble, JWST operates in the infrared spectrum, allowing it to peer through clouds of dust and gas that conceal the inner formation of stars. A stunning example is the fiery hourglass of the young protostar L1527, which is only 10,000 years old. A newly formed solar system can be viewed on its side, cutting a line through the center of the young star, visible as a dark cloud in other wavelengths of light. But with the Webb telescope, the images are sharper, and it has really made a difference. The JWST telescope represents a vast international endeavor built in conjunction with the European and Canadian Space Organization. It warranted the effort of 20,000 people over a 20-year period. It was launched on an Ariane 5 rocket that got it into orbit so flawlessly that it consumed less fuel than anticipated. According to Eric Smith, Webb program scientist at NASA headquarters, the maneuvering fuel saved on board the spacecraft will extend its life to nearly 25 years rather than 10. Not only has the project lifespan been doubled, but the vision is also now twice as clear. It will roughly be 25 to 30% more sensitive, allowing us to see fainter lights that no other telescope could do. JWST has almost certainly broken the record, he added. Upon the massive discovery of the telescope, scientists admitted that they never expected those galaxies to be as massive as they found. While another striking discovery is that these galaxies appeared to be so structured. We didn't know galaxies were this well organized so early in the cosmos, they said. In the meantime, astronomers have discovered other distant galaxies, though still under observation, some of which appear to be as old as 200 million years after the Big Bang. Prior to the launch of JWST, no one knew galaxies could even form so early in the universe's 13.8 billion year existence, when matter was thought to still be gradually accumulating into the gravitationally bound clumps needed to give birth to those huge groups of stars. Which leaves scientists with the question, do we really understand the early stages of the formation of these galaxies? Asked Garth Illingworth, an astronomer at the University of California, Santa Cruz, during a NASA press conference announcing the peer-reviewed validation of the first two candidates. One more thing before we end today's video. It is worth mentioning that the James Webb Space Telescope never disproved the Big Bang Theory.